Good morning, dear students. Now we are discussing the biotechnology principles and processes. And in the previous class, we have discussed about what are the importance of biotechnology and what are the methods including under the biotechnology, like genetic engineering, then recombinant DNA technology, etc. And also discussed about how we can prepare a recombinant DNA, isn't it? So that all the things we have studied in our previous class in very brief. And next we are moving on to the next area in our portion, that is tools of recombinant DNA technology. What are the tools including under the recombinant DNA technology? As we know that there are processes like genetic engineering, recombinant DNA production are included under this biotechnology. So all these processes will be carrying out with the help of certain key tools, isn't it? Like polymerase enzyme, restriction enzymes, ligase, then a host, vector. These are the essential requirements or the key tools for carrying out genetic engineering, recombinant DNA technology, gene cloning, etc. So now we are going to discuss what is a restriction enzyme in very detail. Okay. This is the first tool we are going to discuss, and in the previous class we have already studied about what is a restriction enzyme, and it is also called as molecular scissors. And before going to study about restriction enzyme, we need to understand the structure of a DNA in brief. Just see how a DNA look like and what are the structure which constitute the DNA. Okay, so just have a look into that.
The expansion of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, and DNA is a long polymer of deoxyribonucleotides which have a double helical structure. The two DNA strands are known as polynucleotides as they are composed of simple monomeric, that is individual units called nucleotides. The nucleotides has three components. One is nitrogen base, pentose sugar and phosphate group. And the nitrogenous bases are adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine. Among this, thymine and cytosines are called as purines and adenine and guanine are called as pyrimidines. The nitrogenous bases of two DNA strands are bound together according to base pairing rules. Adenine bond with thymine and guanine with cytosine. The backbone of DNA strand is formed by sugar and phosphates. The nitrogenous bases linked to sugar projects from backbone. The polynucleotide chain of DNA have a 5' end and 3' end.
This is the detailed structure of a DNA, and the more detailing you will study in your genetic class. Okay, and this is enough for this chapter. And coming back to restriction enzyme, in 1963, the isolated two enzymes which are responsible for restricting the growth of bacteriophage in Escherichia coli. Okay, in Escherichia coli, or we can say that E. coli. Okay. So they're isolated two enzymes which are responsible for restricting the growth of a bacteriophage in Escherichia coli. What is a bacteriophage? The virus parasitus, a bacteria, is called as a bacteriophage. So there are two enzymes which is isolated, which responsible for restricting the growth of bacteriophage in E. coli. And the first enzyme will add methyl group to the DNA, and the second enzyme will cut the DNA. So the enzyme that cut the DNA is termed as restriction endonuclease. Restriction endonuclease. So this is the first restriction enzyme which is obtained from Escherichia coli, and this restriction endonuclease will have the ability to cut the DNA. The first restriction endonuclease enzyme is Hnd2. Hnd2. This is the first restriction endonuclease enzyme isolated. Only after 5 years of this identification of Hnd2 enzyme, the functioning of this enzyme is restricted to a specific DNA sequence. Okay, a specific DNA sequence is only recognized by this Hnd2 enzyme, which is a 6 base pair sequence. So this Hnd2 enzyme will cut the DNA sequence only at a specific site of 6 base pair. That sequence, that specific sequence is called as recognition sequence. Recognition sequence. The specific sequence that recognized and cut by Hnd2 enzyme. And besides this Hnd2 enzyme, today there are around 900 different kinds of restriction enzyme which will isolated from around 230 strains of bacteria, and each of the restriction enzyme will be having different recognition sites. Okay, recognition sequence of each restriction enzyme will be different. Is it clear? Yes, that's about the recognition sequence of the restriction enzyme. And as Hnd2 enzyme, there is another restriction enzyme called EcoR1. EcoR1. Okay, this is another restriction enzyme which is obtained from Escherichia coli. That is EcoR1. E means Escherichia, Co means coli, R means the strain of a bacteria, and this is the Roman letter which is represent the order in which the enzyme is isolated from the strain of bacteria. So EcoR1 is isolated from Escherichia coli, that is Eco can be written in italics and R1. Okay, so this is another restriction enzyme. The restriction enzyme are belonging to a larger class of enzyme called nucleases. Restriction enzymes are belonging to a class called nucleases. And these nucleases are of two different types, that is endonucleases and exonucleases. Endonucleases and exonuclease. And as we studied the structure of a DNA, it is composed of nucleotides. And in the case of endonuclease, the nucleotides of a DNA sequence is cut in between the sequence. That is, the endonuclease will make cut on specific position within the DNA. Okay, that is endonuclease. The enzyme which make the cut at specific position within the DNA. And what is exonuclease? The exonuclease will cut the nucleotides at the end of the DNA. It will make cut at the end of the DNA. Okay, that is the difference between endonuclease and exonuclease. Each restriction endonuclease will made cut by inspecting the length of the DNA, and when the restriction enzyme determines or it recognizes the specific DNA sequence, that is the recognition sequence, it will bind to the DNA and cut each strand of the DNA double helix. That is, each phosphate bond of a DNA is cut by the enzyme restriction enzyme. And the activity of the restriction endonuclease is only subjected to the palindromic sequence of a DNA. What is a palindromic sequence? The activity of enzyme restriction endonuclease is subjected to the palindromic sequence of the DNA. Now we have a look into what is a palindromic sequence.
In the term Malayalam, we can read it from both the sides as Malayalam. As against a word palindrome, where the same word is read in both directions. The palindrome in DNA sequence is of base pairs that reads on the same two strands when orientation reading is kept the same. For example, this sequence reads the same on the two strands in 5' to 3' direction. This is also true if we read in the 3' to 5' direction. Each DNA sequence has two ends, 5' and 3'. In the DNA helix, the two strands are anti-parallel. So, the 3' and 5' ends come opposite to each other. The sequence recognized by the restriction enzyme from end 5' to 3' and from 3' to 5' are the same, but they are organized in opposite direction. These are palindromic sequences.
So the activity of the restriction endonuclease enzyme is subjected to the palindromic nucleotide sequence of the DNA, and the restriction enzyme action and the recombinant DNA formation can be as follows. You can observe the steps of recombinant DNA formation by the action of restriction endonuclease enzyme through this video.
When the restriction enzyme recognizes the specific palindromic nucleotide sequence in the DNA, it cuts the strand of DNA a little away from the center of the palindrome sites, which leaves a single-stranded portion at the end. There are overhanging structures called sticky ends on each strand. These are named so because they form hydrogen bond with their complementary cut counterparts. This stickiness of the ends facilitates the action of the enzyme DNA ligase. When the cut by the same restriction enzyme, the resultant DNA fragments have the same kind of sticky ends, and these can be joined together using DNA ligases.
If the restriction enzyme will cut the DNA strand, it will cut the DNA little away from the center of the palindrome sequence, but between the same two bases of the opposite strand. So this will leaves a single strand which is projecting outward from two different sides. These are overhanging structures called sticky ends. Sticky ends. So when the restriction endonuclease cut the DNA, it is just little away from the center of the palindrome sequence, and it will leaves a overhanging structures called sticky ends. And these sticky ends will facilitate the action of DNA ligase enzyme. So the restriction endonucleases are used in genetic engineering for preparing the recombinant DNA from the different sources. Okay, the recombinant DNA is prepared by collecting or by adding the sequence of DNA from different sources. And when the DNA is cut by the same restriction enzyme, the cut DNA strands will be having similar sticky ends. I repeat, when the cut DNA fragments are using same restriction enzyme to cut, it will be having the same sticky ends at the two ends, and it can be joined easily together by the enzyme called DNA ligase. Is it clear?
When the recombinant DNA is formed, it is to be transferred into E. coli. And with the help of DNA polymerase enzyme within the E. coli, the DNA will replicate and produces the multiple copies of DNA.
So when we cut the DNA by using the restriction enzymes, the fragments of DNAs are created, isn't it? And these fragments can be separated by a technique called gel electrophoresis. We need these fragments of DNA in multiple copies. So we have to separate these fragments of DNA. It is carried out with the help of a technique called gel electrophoresis, and in this technique, as the DNA is negatively charged, the positively charged anode is used to attract the negatively charged DNA molecules, and it is collected. Okay, so there is a anode which is having a positive charge used to attract the negatively charged DNA molecule under an electric field through a medium or matrix, that is gel. And nowadays the most commonly used medium is agarose gel. Agarose gel. And it is natural and obtained from seaweeds. Agarose gel is natural matrix which is obtained from seaweeds. And these DNA fragments are separated according to their size by the sieving effect of this agarose gel. Okay, through sieving, the different sized DNA fragments are separated in this agarose gel medium. And the separated DNA fragments can be visualized only with the help of a compound called as ethidium bromide. Ethidium bromide. It helps to visualize the separated DNA fragments. Ethidium bromide is a stain which is used to visualize the DNA fragments, separated DNA fragments, and it is followed by exposure to UV radiations. So when we expose the UV radiation, when we expose the DNA, separated DNA strand, stained ethidium bromide stained separated DNA strand to UV radiation, we can observe bright orange colored strands. And these separated DNA bands are cut from the agarose gel and it is extracted from the gel piece. It is called as elution. Elution. This elution, the separated DNA fragments are cut from agarose gel and extracted from the gel piece is called as elution. And the DNA fragments are purified in this way and can be used for the recombinant DNA. So the genetic engineering or the gene cloning can be carried out successively. This is the technique how we can construct the recombinant DNA by using restriction enzymes. So the activity of restriction enzyme is restricted to a specific site called restriction sequences, and there are two types of restriction enzyme, endonuclease and exonuclease, based on their activity, which is either cutting on the center or within the DNA or at the end of a DNA. And the palindromic sequence are the sequences which read on the same manner with on 5' to 3' direction. And what is about the when the restriction endonuclease cut the DNA, it will leave the two cut end in a sticky manner, that is a projected manner, that is called as sticky ends. And when these two sticky ends of a DNA which is cut by the same restriction enzyme comes in contact, they will join together by using a enzyme called ligase enzyme. And the separation and the extraction of the DNA, the DNA can be done with the help of gel electrophoresis. And in gel electrophoresis, agarose gel can be used as a medium, and since the DNA is negatively charged, it is attracted to the positively charged anode supplied by a electric field. And by the separation of the DNA strand, it is not visible through our eye, and so it is to be stained by using ethidium bromide. And when it is exposed to UV radiation, we can observe it as a bright orange colored band, and this band can be extracted from the agarose gel by using the elution technique. Okay, so we can separate the pure DNA strand and can be further transferred to a host. This is the recombinant DNA production in very detail. Is it clear?